let's talk about some of the common faults that we see in Olympic lifting and give you guys some actual drills to correct them. So already some of you will have picked up on, I was saying to get your torso more vertical or stay over the bar. Everyone bring it in, just jump in around here. Dan will tell you a story. So you guys will have already had your attention drawn to some of the faults, and there'll be a lot of things that you guys have been told by coaches ad nauseum, and these things that you're told over and over again, and it's probably a good sign that it's something that you need to work on. So again, when we're trying to correct faults in your Olympic lifting, we've talked about this already earlier today and yesterday, but your priority is technique correction, which is coaching, okay? Can you coach someone out of an incorrect movement pattern? Our second priority is then motor control, which is learning. So that's what we were doing today, yeah? You were here, I was coaching you by trying to pull your knees back, and then I said, can you feel the hamstring tension? This becomes a process of learning. And then, of course, as you guys know, we've got movement therapy. The movement therapy is when we assess a movement, look at it, see what's going wrong, and then prescribe some drills, some strengthening, stability, mobility, PNF work to fix those underlying dysfunctions. This is not what we're talking about today. We talked about that yesterday. This is about fixing your technique. This isn't about fixing the underlying dysfunction that you have there. One of the reasons that Olympic weightlifting is so hard is because it is inherently a fast sport. So how do you practice something that's supposed to be done really fast when you want to be doing it slow to get feedback? It can be difficult. Imagine that you're a javelin thrower and you're trying to practice to throw a javelin 50 meters. You can't throw it slowly. You can't slowly throw a javelin 50 meters. It doesn't work. And the same to an extent happens with Olympic weightlifting. If you're snatching slowly, you're not actually snatching, because the whole premise, the whole background behind a snatch is that it's done quickly. So I'm asking you guys to do this stuff really fast, but you don't yet have the skill, you don't yet have the motor control to be able to do that. So there are some benefits here to pausing and holding it at positions, going slow between your positions to learn where they are. Because effectively what we're doing is we're learning where those dots are. You're learning where each of those positions is. So then, as you go, you can get faster and faster and faster on that join the dot to dot model until you don't need that at all, and you can draw that elephant freehand and it's perfect. And that's the position that we're trying to work towards. So something that you guys can work on is feel the positions. That's why I was holding you here. And I'll say to you, take a mental snapshot of this so you know what that position feels like. Go slow between these positions so you know what those positions feel like. So even though this is a fast sport, you can build in some slow stuff. One of the principles that I like to use with learning Olympic weightlifting is obviously this dot-to-dot model, but doing one movement, which is a little bit more simple, like maybe a snatch pull, and then taping a second movement onto the end of it, like your power snatch. So let's use that as an example, because that's something that we've looked at today. So let's say you do a snatch pull. After you've done that, there's almost like an echo that goes on in your brain, in your nervous system, where that snatch pull is sort of still there. So you do that movement, and then it's still snatch pull, snatch pull, snatch pull. It's still there in your head. So a really good technique here is to do that snatch pull, and while that echo is still reverberating around the confines of your mind, to then go in and do your power snatch, with our hope being that you will carry over the snatch pull into your power snatch. So one movement becomes the next. So if you've got a fault, let's say you are lifting your hips early, what you would do is a snatch pull to knee, which focuses just on that fault, and then down, reset straight away, then hit your snatch, with the hope that there's an echo of snatch pull to knee, 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 as you then go to do that full snatch. So identify where your issue is, and yes, focus on that on its own, get that right first, but then the next step, before we suddenly go, all right, and the full movement, the next step would be to say, part movement, down, full movement, with the echo of that part movement still going through your head.